All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Bach. Easy Baccarat. Let's try to read the forecast. This is going to be a quick comment reply to Bacaboo. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate you. So right here, you can see the bottom left forecast is the one I used. If I can break this down really quick without going over the time limit for this video, because this is a time lapse. And so right here, you can kind of look at all the red dots. I drew that line because it only dropped below 2 red dots one time in the beginning of that forecast. So I kind of theoretically drew that little man walking there to that spot if we were to walk up to that shoe and started playing. And I drew those other black lines to show you exactly what it looked like where if you had walked up to the shoe right there and saw red dot jump to blue, another red dot jump to blue, single red dot jump to blue. So I try to break it down here of how many times, if we just waited for a red dot, how many times it jumped back to blue, that we would have been right on that bet using that forecast. Very simple. So if you look at the bottom right of the screen, it shows obviously it shows forecast. That red dot, blue dot, that stands for clearly banker or player. The one thing that I don't completely understand about that forecast, or about those dots, slashes, cockroach, whatever, circle, donut, people call them a bunch of different things, but they'll change. They won't always stay the way you're seeing it on the screen there that I screenshotted. But I just wanted to show you the bottom left forecast because you'll notice the other patterns are a little bit different. So when you're making your bets and you're waiting for that red dot to hit so you can bet the jump back to blue, you'll just bet according to what that forecast shows you to bet or tells you to bet. So a lot of the times, as soon as I get one or two of those guesses right, those predictions for the forecast, a player will say, all right, what now? And I'm like, or they'll expect me to be right. And I'm like, no, sometimes that pattern on that forecast will break. And sometimes it'll stay true to that. Because if you noticed earlier on in the pattern, it went 2 red dots, then 1 red dot, then 2 red dots, then 3 red dots. Right, kind of where that little stick man is standing. That's why I meant if you were playing the shoe all the way through and you started noticing that new pattern, I would recommend disregarding that other one, other than the fact that, like I said, it only dropped below 2 red dots. So you can almost win that bet that was 2 red dots and then when it jumped to blue. Maybe. So once again, theoretically speaking, if I had to count up how many times, if you see the circled red dot that we waited for and then the X blue dot that we hit, I think I counted 6 or 7 wins, possibly 6 wins and 1 loss. So putting that at, if we max bet that table 1,000 or whatever your bet is, do the math. It's a hell of a win if you follow that forecast. Forecast ain't always right, though. Play at your own risk. Gamble responsibly. Subscribe for more details.